Welcome back, everyone, to Tevora Talks. I am your host, Cash, joined as always by my co-host and partner in cybercrime, Mr. Matt Mosley. How are you, Matt? How's it going? It's almost 2023.
Yeah,
Woo!
crazy. I am doing well. This is my favorite time of the year, and we are close to the end. So just crossing my fingers we don't get called on
I
the
know.
holiday.
I
But
know.
other than that, I'm doing well.
I know a lot has happened this year, and to that, I don't want to jinx it. The holidays, something always happens, like Thanksgiving, of course. That week leading up to it, we're like, nothing's gonna happen. We're okay. Friday, we got on a mini call. Somebody called in, and thankfully, it wasn't a crazy incident.
Right.
It wasn't like a wide scale attack, like typical.
Yeah.
But
I just don't understand. I want to know, like, we should track this one year, the statistics on how many calls we get on a Friday, and like when did the client know about it and then decide to call us, you know?
yeah,
Because I
for
feel
sure.
like they find out about it the week of or the week prior, and then they go into the weekend and like, yeah, I really don't want to deal with it, man. I don't want to give up my weekend, so I'm gonna call Tevora. It's always Friday, like at 5 o'clock when you're ready to go home.
Yep, yep.
So anyway, or Thanksgiving or Christmas.
And then they disappear.
Yeah,
But yeah, a lot happened in this year, 2022. And I don't know, maybe we can just do a little bit of a week recap of
yeah,
the
that
year
sounds
of
good.
crazy. Maybe talk about some of the hacks, some of the data breaches, and hopefully nothing crazier happens the rest of the year and we can have smooth sailing into 2023.
Yep, fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood, man. Knock on that wood as loud as you possibly can, because I do not want to do anything on Christmas Day and drive to a data center or anything like that just because
Oh,
somebody left a
are you
few
talking
ports
about the
open.
Christmas of 2020? Sounds like it.
2020, 2019,
Yeah,
and yeah, 2 years in a row, Christmas, somebody got popped. So
yeah.
yeah, and then end of 2021 is when we found out about solar winds. That kind of crept into the little bit of, right? Was
No,
it end
I
of
think that
2021
was
or beginning? No, end of 2020.
2020 rolled into
Yeah.
2021. Yeah,
Yep. That was a big solar winds. But yeah, with that said,
yeah,
let's kind of dive into it. What happened? I remember off the top of my head, I remember some of the big breaches
yeah.
were like Uber.
Uber was my opinion, the worst of the year. Like, just had their butts handed to them.
Oh, bad, man. They got bad hacked.
So bad. And what was that? What was that kid's name? Or his handle?
Oh,
But he ran Lapsus, right?
he I don't know if he ran it, or I know they said he was a part of it. He was like a young teenager or something like that, if I
Yeah,
recall
he's 17
correctly.
years old.
From like he was like a European based hacker in like
Yeah,
London or
from London.
something. And he had some counterpart, another like teenage hacker in where was that guy? In Venezuela, I believe, or Brazil.
Yeah, yep.
But
But they busted him. And man, how did he get in? He got in through social engineering, right? I think.
yeah, it was, I think, something along the lines of like him calling in and pretending, and it was either vishing or a phishing attack. I don't remember. But nonetheless, whatever it was, a lot of records. That one was like 50 some million records exposed, not just like the public, not just customers, but their internal, like their drivers, a lot of stuff.
Yep.
But
He
I
was in
guess
their
there
Slack.
was it their Slack?
He was in everything.
He was in everything, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got access to everything. And then did the same thing for Rockstar Games.
Oh, I remember the Rockstar hack. Yeah. That was like for the new GTA or something, right?
Yeah. Yep. And I think Microsoft, I mean, there was a lot that went on like that. That kid was on a Rampage, man. But the Uber hack, I think, was the worst.
Uber hack for sure was. Did they ever get fined or anything, or is that not a thing yet?
Probably still working its way through the system. I don't know.
Oh, they're gonna get a fat bill, man. Because like you know how that. I mean, you know how it works. But for those that don't, it doesn't matter how well prepared you were, how many systems you had, how many tools you had in place. If you got hacked, you're still paying a fine for the data
Yeah.
getting exposed.
Yep.
Now, of course, like if the government is able to prove negligence, it's even worse, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
Possibly. I know in the case of Live Nation Ticketmaster, Invento was the one that was hacked, which was a third party chat provider. And because Ticketmaster used it on their websites, they were the ones that paid the fines and had to do the credit monitoring and all that. So,
ouch, ouch.
yep. So, like you said, no matter how good your tools are, your team, all the stuff you do, you still will get fined.
You know what just came to mind? I feel it's like silver lining for the average citizen user is that we get pretty much, I feel like companies get hacked rather frequently.
Oh yeah, so you get credit monitoring on a regular basis.
Yeah, we're gonna get free credit monitoring for
Yeah.
life, I guess, from what it sounds like.
Well, I've always said like, you know, uh thanks, my social security number got hacked and you're giving me 1 year of credit monitoring because my social security number expires after 1 year, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
once it happens, you're screwed for life unless you go through the hoops to get a new one, which good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
But yeah, so he got in through phishing or some sort of social engineering, which I think was and still is year after year the number one method for hackers getting in, right?
Yeah, I think so.
75% of security experts this year said that was their root cause.
That's wild. That's a pretty big number, man.
I would think it'd be bigger. I think it'd be like 90%.
For sure. What's the other 25, did they say?
Maybe I could look through here.
Probably just some like vulnerabilities or
Oh, supply chain, third party risks.
but
That's
it's kind of interesting. You know, I was reading today about it's one of these hack researchers, right? They've disclosed, I don't know if there's like a proof of concept published on exactly how, but they figured a way for like Microsoft's endpoint detection system, and your favorite one that is the culprit of them all, um, Trend Micro, right? Trend Micro's EDR. There's a way to use the EDR itself to cause chaos, right? And the thing was where they have the they trick the EDR into attacking the computer, and pretty much it like any file that it scans on a regular basis, they tell it to just start deleting those files. So it just kind of starts self-destructing.
it becomes like a wiper malware.
Yeah, exactly. It becomes a wiper, right? So that's a problem, I guess, for those EDR solutions.
Yeah, a little bit of a problem.
It wasn't all the EDR solutions weren't on there, right? So some of them, it's interesting. They had like it would like detect that it's trying to wipe it, and then it would try to stop itself, and it like goes in a loop, right? So that was interesting. But some of the other ones they were not on that list, like CrowdStrike, Sentinel-1, they weren't on that list. But Trend Micro and Microsoft. There was one more that they disclosed. I don't remember who it was, but I know what do you do about that? You think you have a tool, but I guess you don't.
Well, yeah, you just use that tool to isolate the problem. No, I'm just kidding.
Isolate itself.
Yeah, that's interesting. We had Kevin Dick and Stephen Flores, formerly of Tevora, um, did a talk not too long ago about B-sides. I think it was a couple years ago, probably like 4 years ago, about leveraging security tools during pen tests. So their talk goes through and they used like Splunk to once they had access to Splunk, then they used Splunk to set up shell on all kinds of different endpoints using the um,
The aggregator, like the collector.
yeah, like the forwarders or whatever.
Oh, the forwarder. Yeah, yeah, that's where I
Yeah,
was.
we should have Kevin on here and have him talk about it more. But yeah, it was pretty interesting in how you could just leverage these security tools once you have access to them because they have full access to the environment. So then you just write a little script. I mean, I could see that happening, with Tanium and stuff like that. CrowdStrike, you can deploy um, code to the endpoint and then have it run different things.
That's wild.
Like you were saying, the wiper thing with Trend Micro and Microsoft, you could definitely do that with CrowdStrike. So whether CrowdStrike would block itself, I don't know, but you in the CrowdStrike console, you can do PowerShell. So I would imagine you would be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't read like again, there wasn't like too much detail on exactly how it was being done. So I
Oh,
don't
that's
know if
good.
it was like a source code. Yeah, it's good. Like let's
Yeah, we
not
don't want to give
disclose
out
that to the world.
the.
Yeah. But hopefully CrowdStrike's a little bit more intelligent. It's like I guess, but to that point, I don't know. I think we should try it just to see exactly what happens. Like connect into one of our systems, try to run a malicious script within CrowdStrike and see if it flags it or lets it
Yeah,
run. That'd be interesting.
I bet it
But
would.
aside from that and whatnot, there's other stuff like Twitter. Let's not forget about our favorite Twitter. They
Yeah.
got hacked, right? Remember that data breach? Like
Yep.
something like 5 million accounts or whatnot. And that wasn't too long ago. That was um, this year. I mean, they always get attacked here and there. Everybody does, right? But I think this was a bigger one.
Yeah. I'm sure Musk will fix it.
Yeah, Musk. Musk is cleaning house. I heard he's bringing a lot of his staff and execs from Tesla and SpaceX and whatnot over to start running shop here and make it profitable.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm just glad I don't use Twitter.
Yeah, I never got into it. I don't know why. I feel like when Twitter came, Instagram was there at the same time, and you kind of had to choose your favorite.
Well, we all know why you use Twitter, but
To find coupons. That's why.
um, Google acquired Mandia. That was pretty big in the security industry.
That was big. Did that happen? I remember they had a huge DDoS attack. Google
Google
did.
did. Yep. Yeah. Google faced one of the largest, or was it one of the largest? I think it was the largest DDoS attack, right?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was the largest, but I know it was like something crazy, like millions of requests per second.
Yeah. 46 million requests per second.
Woo, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah. I think it was the largest ever. So, and they were fine. They survived.
I mean, I feel like I wonder how many. I wish they would have put it into perspective though. Like, how many requests does Google typically get per second? Versus this like one channel attack.
Yeah. They have a whole
I'm
blog
curious.
right up on it.
Like average Google request per second. I feel like it's a lot. I mean, obviously, right? They pretty much internet is Google, you know. Here it says Google processes over 99,000 searches every single second. Okay, so yeah, 40, what did you say, 46
46
million?
million.
Oh, compared to 99,000, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
I was gonna
big
say that's quite a
difference.
bit.
But dang, respect to them for, not even flinching. I
I'm
guess.
surprised it's only 99,000 per second.
Yeah, right. I feel like
Looks
it
like
should
everybody uses
be.
Google, but maybe there's that. Maybe Bing has finally cornered the market.
Oh my God. Every time I get a new Windows browser, the first thing I do, Windows system, the first thing I do is go change the default browser.
Yeah,
And it's like, are you sure you want to change from Bing?
absolutely. Yep, yep. And it doesn't matter if you call yourself Edge and change it from Internet Explorer. I'm still changing it.
Oh, for sure. Oh, speaking of Internet Explorer, this is so funny. The two matching up. Google, right? Google researchers themselves are warning of a 0-day vulnerability for Internet Explorer.
Oh, another one.
Yep. And this is recent. This is like right now. I think it happened just a few days ago. But
Yeah. I mean, the functionality of websites they don't work. I mean, maybe they do now. I don't know. I'm not gonna shift to using Microsoft Edge now after not using it for so many years or
oh yeah.
Internet Explorer. I remember when I was a web developer, like back early 2000s, I would spend probably half the project coding the website to work in Internet Explorer and other browsers. Like you always had to do that for, I mean, now they have like libraries that'll do it. Like I think Modernizer is one of them, but back then it was always like you had to do like certain CSS that would work in Internet Explorer and then certain CSS that would work in all the other browsers, right? And then you'd have certain commands that would work with JavaScript in Internet Explorer and then certain that would work in all the other browsers.
Oh God.
And it was just
That
such a
sounds
pain
like
in the
pure
butt.
chaos, man.
Yeah, it was just like, and then you have to test it all, right? Once it goes into production, you have to, or pre-production, make sure it looks good on all browsers. Anyway, that's when I stopped using Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
I'm a hardcore Firefox fan.
Oh, I love Firefox. I recently switched over to the Firefox Developer Edition.
I love the developer edition. Yeah. When I'm
Yeah,
doing
it's
pen
pretty sweet.
testing, like web app pen testing, I use the developer edition.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. But who else got it hacked this year? Who do we say? We say Twitter. We
Yep.
said, oh, here's one that I read recently that I didn't even hear about it much. Meta. Did you hear Meta got like hacked or something? Like it was like an insider threat.
Oh, was the I just read about it too. The employees that were hacking into user accounts.
They were hacking into user accounts.
Yeah.
Is that what it
Or
was? Oh,
allegedly hacking into user accounts.
oh,
There
got
was
you,
12 of
got
them.
you. For
But
what
this
were
didn't get a
they?
lot of news. But it's kind of a big deal, in my opinion.
Here, I'm reading it. It says they're gaining access to multiple Facebook accounts in exchange for thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Thousands of dollars? How many thousands of dollars? Isn't Bitcoin like one coin just like
It's like
16 cents a
17
bit?
right now, I think.
So what do they hack one Bitcoin? That's not that bad. Maybe that's why we didn't hear about it.
Yeah,
Like,
but if
don't
you do
waste
it a
our
couple
time.
times, you got one Bitcoin.
Probably cost Facebook more to hire their attorneys to deal with the problem than the actual hack.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, there wasn't. I feel like last year and the years over COVID were obviously way worse for
Yeah.
good reasons. The switch to work from home, companies not being ready for a massive migration like that, and all that good stuff. But I feel like this year was a little more calm on the wide scale. Like everybody's getting crippled.
Yeah, because they were too busy dealing with Ukraine.
Yeah, yeah. The Ukraine
You notice
attack.
there was a lot less Patriots, US Patriots online when Russia and Ukraine went to battle. Seemed like the troll war they kind of died out a little bit. All these troll farms they were getting conscripted into into the Ukraine Russia war.
The Ukraine, your Russia like hacks were wild though. I mean, they were like taking over Russian TV stations
Yep.
and Russian. I remember they got a hold of one of the some of their utility companies. I think like a gas company or something like that.
Yep. They did all the electric car pumps. They had the screen changed to say F Putin on them.
Jeez.
And there was I guess there was something about, if I remember correctly, there was something about like the Russian jets use like unencrypted radio waves or something for communications. That could be wrong, but anyway, the military, the Russian military was using unencrypted radio waves, and so some people were blasting white noise into those channels to disrupt their communications. And in the white noise, they were broadcasting pictures of like the troll, like the meme of the troll guy with
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
smile.
yeah.
They were like putting that in there. They were putting like the dick butt duck or whatever it is.
That's so funny, man.
They were putting that in there, and yeah, there was definitely some interesting hacks going on. So,
There was like some cool stuff this year that happened. Maybe not hack related, but I think like SpaceX and Elon Musk's whole Starlink situation, how he's able to dispatch and boom, here you go, Ukraine. Here's some free internet. That's pretty
that
rad.
was pretty cool. Yeah.
I feel like it's very sci-fi
All right.
movie.
Musk did one good thing this year. Good job.
One win for Musk. But
I'm
I
still
heard
not a big fan.
I read in another article that they're trying to like migrate and join forces with T-Mobile to push it over Starlink or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
T-Mobile has that deal. I don't know if you saw it right now, but they have the $25 a month for life T-Mobile internet in your house. I'm like, is
Really?
it that good? And is there data caps? I don't know.
That's cheap, man.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, might be good just to have a backup.
For
But I don't
sure.
want to drop $150 a year just on a backup. So,
Yeah, $25. I mean, it seems all right.
yeah. Yeah, not a bad price.
Yeah,
I
not a
don't know
bad
how good
price
it
at
is,
all.
but that was a
But
Black Friday deal.
Black Friday, did any hacks happen over Black Friday? Not really. I didn't hear anybody
No.
getting no DDoS attacks or anything like that in to these big companies. I know we had a couple DDoS related attacks over the year.
Hmm.
DDoS is kind of it's a sticky situation. We already kind of talked about it, I think in another episode, but not like unless you have the proper tools or you have like a web application firewall already in place or whatnot, you just kind of ride the wave.
Right. It depends on the type, but yeah, exactly. It's there's really nothing you can do. It's you can't block IPs. You just whack them all.
Yeah, for sure.
You block one and 100 more show up. So um yeah, you can. I mean, there's service providers that'll help, but and there's some other tactics that you can do. But overall, it's really just ride the wave. Wait for it to stop.
Oh, you know who just came to mind? Hack of the I guess year, not hack of the year, hack target of the year because they got hacked a couple times. LastPass.
Oh yeah.
They
Yep.
got hacked a couple times at least, I think in 2022.
Yep.
So,
Yep. They had their, I think source code was disclosed in the first one, and then the second one it was user, not password information, because that's all part of their like trusted architectures. And supposedly it's not, that wasn't touched, but user information definitely was, you know, read, I guess.
wild. I
Yeah.
finally got my LastPass issue resolved. I don't get a pop-up every day. I don't even remember the last time I had to re-enter my username and password, so that's great.
Oh, well, that's good. Just in time to switch.
Man, no way, dude. I'll write it out at this
I was a
point.
LastPass user for over a decade, and they did me dirty. So I am no longer LastPass. I am Bitwarden.
Bitwarden, how is that
Yep.
going? I remember you said you were
Great.
having some issues switching it over though.
Yeah, so I don't know if LastPass exported weird or Bitwarden imported weird, but just about every account I have to reset the password on. I think there's like an extra like a blank character or something on each account. So something's weird going on. My usernames are all right, but the passwords are all wrong. So like on accounts that I know I didn't change the password forever, and I have to go and reset it. And then I reset it and it like autofills when it goes to like your new password, it'll autofill with whatever's in Bitwarden.
Yeah.
And I'll just use whatever password's in there. So I don't even have to save anything. It just updates with whatever the imported password was. So I don't know which one's messing up, but one of them did. not a big deal. But yeah, Bitwarden's good. It's free too. It's I mean there is a paid version, but the free version is just as good. I forget what the paid version really gives you. So maybe two
Peace,
factor. So, I
peace
don't
of
know.
mind.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I don't know. But there's self-hosted solutions too, which I might be looking into.
Oh,
So
that's tight.
yeah, LastPass ripped me off. They charged me $48 or something like that for the year. And then every time I logged into LastPass, it said that my account was not renewed. Wasn't a paid account, even though I was a family shared account. And I asked for support, never got support from them. Asked for a refund, never got a refund. So
Sayonara.
that's where we're at now.
Oh, speaking of sayonara, this is one thing I just read that I remember now. Kaspersky, remember
Yep.
their antivirus? They got kind of exiled. They went on the US's blacklist.
Yeah, that's been coming for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and I guess like given the climate of all the tensions in the world right now, they went straight to the top probably.
Well, if I'm not wrong, the Kaspersky founder is former KGB. Eugene
Really?
Kaspersky. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was, yeah, he's connected to the. At the age of 16, Kaspersky entered a 5-year program with the technical faculty of the KGB Higher School, which prepared intelligence officers for the Russian military and the
Okay.
KGB. He graduated in 1987 with a degree in mathematical engineering. After graduating, Kaspersky served the Soviet Military Intelligence Service as a software engineer. There you go.
Yeah, it makes sense
He
why
met
it.
his first wife at a KGB vacation resort. There you
That's so good, man.
go.
Yeah, it
So,
was safe to say he was part of the KGB.
yeah. So I think that's probably the biggest concern. But it's been going on for a long time. The US, kind of, I mean, I want to say it's been going on since like 2015. So,
What's this one? I don't. What the heck is Biden Cash?
oh, that was the credit card, uh, the dark carding marketplace, right?
I
Biden
don't know.
Cash.
I'm like
They had
Biden
1.2 million credit
Cash.cc.
cards.
Yeah, they got a big hack. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a carding marketplace.
Yeah. It's just like a forum where you can go buy credit card numbers. And it's just
Oh,
called
that's
Biden Cash.
wild. Oh shoot. I just clicked on it right now, so let's
It's on, it should be on tour, isn't it?
I mean, I just went to the website, credit card, it's like .cc and it's like log in. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe this is not the place. I thought it was like something like it's some kind of, you know, government money program they set up. I don't know. It sounds good.
Biden's giving away credit card numbers.
It
Get them while you
sounds.
can.
I thought it's like one of
These
these,
were meant for student loans, but we're just going to
sign
give
up
them
for
out to
the
the
service. I guess I was wrong.
public.
Let's see if I get it. We're gonna get a CrowdStrike email right now. One of your users clicked on a link, took us to the dark web. Oops. But yeah, I guess that's I don't want to say that's it. There's obviously, everybody gets hacked from the top down. We only really hear about the big ones for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
Disclosing a hack, big problems for a company, on the back end, right? Brand reputation is a big factor.
Yep.
And I guess like a lot of people don't even think about that side of it. They only think like, oh, we got hacked, our systems are down. But so many things happen after the fact, like a domino effect. And I guess for that reason, a lot of them try to just keep it hush hush. So we only really hear about the ones that, publicly traded companies, for the most part, they really got to disclose it because, a couple of days of loss of revenue has to get reported.
Yep.
Stock prices get affected and stuff like that. But, the smaller private owned companies, they can kind of get away with not disclosing it
Mhm.
unless, unless I guess if user data is actually affected, then they have to advise the users, and then through that channel they can go out and leak. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's definitely going to be more rules, I guess, around that stuff. And cyber insurance providers are kind of writing that in as well. That if you are breached, like you have so many hours to report it if you want to keep your coverage. So I'm sure we're going to hear more about it as the years go on.
but I
A lot
just read
less under
this
the rug
one
stuff.
liner by this girl. Her name is Olivia Powell. She's written these blogs and articles. She says or suggests that in 2022, and this article was written very, very recently, just a few days ago. She said, check this: approximately 4,100 publicly disclosed data breaches in 2022, totaling up to 22, get this, 22 billion records exposed.
Yeah,
That's wild, man.
that's a lot. Yeah.
That's wild. So let's see what 2023 has in store for us,
Yeah.
because this year, man, it went by. A lot of stuff's been happening. I mean, we've been super busy in our team for sure. Um, but I don't know. Hopefully,
Well, there's some good news. Healthcare data was the fourth most advertised offering, dropping slightly from its popularity last year. Right. Healthcare usually one of the more popular ones, but it's dropped out. Nobody cares anymore.
oh, speaking of healthcare, let's not forget about the big, screw up of the year, Pixel by Facebook on the healthcare side.
Yeah.
That
You
was a
mean
big
you mean
oops.
Meta.
Yeah, Meta. I'm sorry. It's a whole different company now. It's
Yeah.
called Meta. Meta's like such a, I don't know, man. I don't remember which one of these banks spent like millions of dollars on like a Meta party for Thanksgiving or something, and no, like six people showed up to it.
Like a virtual party.
Yeah, yeah.
That's weird.
God, I wish.
Well, in the week that I had an Oculus, thanks to Cash, um, I did one of those online chats. It was weird. I'll be honest. Like I was in the room and there's people talking, and I like you could easily eavesdrop on the conversation. It was just odd.
That is weird, man.
I didn't stick around very long.
Oh, here it is. I found it. The EU, European Union, spent 400K on a party in the metaverse, and only six people showed up.
Damn. I would rather just taking the money.
Yeah, for sure. Like, spend 200
400
grand.
grand split between six people. That's a good time.
That would have been a great time.
That's some tomahawk steaks and some good drinks.
Meta this year is the S&P's worst performer of 2022. Near
Dang.
75% loss.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I mean, other than the Oculus for that split second, I am no longer a Meta user. I don't have an Instagram account. I don't have a Facebook account. So
Yeah, I don't even use like login with Facebook anymore. No way. I just like, let's keep it easy. I'll just use Google. Google, I feel they have their stuff together, in my opinion. You may not be the
yeah,
most
I don't use any
avid
of those
Google.
login with. I just don't trust any of them.
Well, I mean, I have like my, that one account everybody does to log into stuff,
Yeah.
but I opt to use the Google login.
But the let's see, top three most targeted sectors were finance and insurance. That was number one. Healthcare and social assistance was number two. And number three, drum roll, was public administration. So
Public administration, where does that fall on? What falls under public administration?
I actually don't know.
What the
But
heck is that?
education was like seventh on the list.
Ed-
For those in the
Education did
US,
get hit though, for sure.
LA Unified School District got hit pretty hard.
Yeah, for sure.
No ransom was paid and didn't prevent anybody from not going to school, but
They
Yeah.
were, I remember that one. That was interesting because they got hacked. There was no ransom even demand.
At first, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then like a week later, I think there was a demand made.
Yeah, that was a big one. I know like other school districts got hacked too. It happens a lot. I don't know why. Like poor school districts, they hardly have any money as it is.
That's true. Yep.
It's like hack somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, because there are some groups that will follow like a code or rules of engagement, I guess, like remember Babook or Bat,
Yeah.
how do you say
BBK.
it?
I don't know. Babook. I remember the
Yeah.
extension. It was like .bbk or something like that.
Yeah. So they had a policy where they wouldn't if you were a nonprofit or a hospital or a university or something like that, or if you're a private business that made less than so many millions a year, they wouldn't hack you. And I feel like they should all do that. like like whitelist some companies that you're not going to hit, right? Like
Yeah.
whitelist schools. It's hard enough for these teachers and these kids, especially in America.
I'm sure the kids don't mind. I mean, like K-12 and lower, hey, school's out today because everything's shut down. That's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
But I don't know. The thing with that is, like, for example, here with the weather, like snow, there's no more snow days, right? Thanks to COVID. Everyone's like, oh, we'll just do Zoom.
Yo,
Kind of sucks as a kid now.
let me comment on your snow day comment. I was watching this thing on YouTube recently.
Yeah.
It's like the world's coldest place to live, and I don't remember exactly where it was. It was like some village in Russia or
It was
somewhere
so
like
cold the Wi-Fi didn't work.
no, like that.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I thought I had to think about that for a second. Is that possible? Can the wires freeze? No,
On a
but
side note, I had a guy ask me, would Wi-Fi work in a really windy area? I shit you not. He wanted to know if it would work because it's where he lives is high winds. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that kind of makes me think a little bit because it's broadcasting waves. I don't
The
know how.
packets, man, they get swept away. Those Santa Ana winds.
Oh my God, that's so funny, man. Who asked you that? Like, you don't have to give a name, but like,
uh I will because I know he doesn't listen to this, and this was like 20 years ago. But his name is Nick.
oh, that's so funny, dude.
He was a friend of a friend. So
My buddy brought something up to. He's like talking about tinfoil wearing hat
yeah,
conversations. He's like, this one guy is saying shielded cables. Is that a good idea? I'm like,
if you're in manufacturing.
I'm like, what are you talking about, dude?
That's
I'm
funny.
like, do you want to know what a shielded cable looks like? I showed him a picture. I'm like, that's what it looks like. He's like, that's it. I'm like, that's it. But not exciting, man. Alien's still gonna get into your brain somehow. But
All
listen,
right,
so
sorry, you were talking about a
the
YouTube video you were watching.
yeah. So the coldest place in the world is like some place. It's like average temperatures, like in the negative degrees, right? And then the beginning scene, it's like showing some little kid sleeping, and it's like it is like 6 a.m. and little so and so is waking up for school, and he's like checking the temperature, and the guy's like, anything but as long as it's not colder than negative 50 degrees, this kid still got to go to school. School's still open.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, man.
Like
Negative.
walks to school?
Yeah, like walks to school. And you have to imagine there's tons of snow outside, and this poor little kid wakes up, has to bundle up first thing in the morning, runs outside to the outhouse. That's the first problem. And then comes back in, gets ready again. And it was so wild. Like the mom she goes outside in the morning, gets the block of ice that they prepare ahead of time, blocks of ice, brings that in and starts heating up the ice, like chopping it so it turns into usable water for the day. And this kid's like washing his
Oh,
face in this like little vat. There's like a bucket of like somewhat melted ice, but it's still ice water, man. He's like using that to wash his face and brush his teeth. I'm like, oh hell no. There's no no way.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, I have zero things to complain about being cold. Like I'm like California weather. I'm like, oh, it's like 63. Need to get my jacket out, you know. I'm like 63. I'm like, that's like 100 degrees difference, literally. -50 and 63. It's 110, 113 degrees. I'm like, that's wild. Completely irrelevant to anything security talk.
That's all right. It's the end of the year. It's holidays. We can talk about cold and snow. Let's see. Number one, phishing was the most discussed hacking service in this year's reporting on different forums. So phishing was number one. Stealers were number two. So stealing information, malware that would steal information, botnets, DDoS, 3 and 4. 0 days were number 5. Ransomware was down on the list, number 7.
Wow, that's great.
And coming in last place, ATM malware. So not as popular.
I wonder how it's gonna evolve soon enough. Let's see. Maybe the hackers are like, we're gonna release our good stuff 2023.
Oh, that could be. That could be.
Yeah, maybe they've been like re-engineering this last year. They're going through their waterfall software development process right now.
It is interesting. I mean, like some of these companies that came out, or at least I guess they didn't come out this year, but I heard about them this year. Uh, what was that one? Nubeva, and the other one was Halcyon that claim they can reverse malware or reverse ransomware. That's pretty interesting. And so I wonder if that's going to help thwart or curb the ransomware industry a little bit. Um, Now these companies say they've been around for a while, so I don't know, like if they've been around for a couple of years, how come? First of all, how come I'm just hearing about them now? But number two, like ransomware was prolific last year. Like I think it had its biggest year was last year, maybe even this year. Maybe it was bigger this year. I don't know. But anyway,
Well,
hopefully those tools will help kind of fix what's going on. So,
but you for sure know somebody's out there looking over their source code to see how it's doing it.
well, that's what yeah. I mean, we've had these discussions too, where once you figure out how it works, it's only a matter of time before they evolve their attack, right?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So,
I mean, it's just like a real virus, right? It just consistently evolves and improves and survives no matter what.
yeah,
So I don't know. 2022 was a fun year, a good year. I
knock
think,
on wood.
knock on wood, I think for the most part, life is starting to somewhat get back to normal, assuming it doesn't go chaotic again, thanks to COVID.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the hackers started enjoying life again, and that's why stuff kind of died down a little bit. I don't
No,
know.
I think they're busy in Ukraine, man.
Yeah, oh, that's true. There are, I mean, yeah, I guess all the hackers are in that area, right?
I
Russia.
just I think Russia was dealing with some other stuff going on.
Yeah, for sure. They're like, we need to currently divert funds, like stop hacking
It
everybody.
is interesting. Like I would like to, we should do that where we compare the analytics of all the attacks from like 2021, 2020, and then 2022, and just see like when the war started in Ukraine, which was like what, February, I think, uh to now or whatever, and just see if there was a drop off. There definitely was a lot less, like I said, and I know I was joking, but there was definitely a lot less like US patriots, quote unquote, on Twitter and all that crap giving like misinformation. So I think some of those troll farms definitely got disrupted with the stuff going on in Ukraine.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
They diverted
it
their
sounds
resources.
plausible for sure, for sure.
So,
But I just sent you something fun. I just went online to look at the threat maps, just to see what's happening. And this one threat map checkpoint, they turned their threat map
the
into
World Cup.
into the World Cup. It's like a soccer field looking grass field, and all the threat things are soccer balls. That's pretty fun. I appreciate that.
Argentina and Netherlands. I think it was Argentina. That's who Messi plays for, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Was it?
Yes. It was
There was some.
2-0 with 15 minutes left, and Netherlands came back and tied it.
Oh, dang, that's wild.
And then they went into extended time and then went into a shootout. Argentina finally won. Anyway,
That's
good stuff.
wild. There was some team that got it. It got it like heated, right?
Uh, that one of the Argentina players kicked the ball right at the bench, and so they cleared the benches.
That's wild.
So I don't know, but any final words for our listeners in 2022?
2022, everybody, good news. If you've made it this far
Good
listening to
news.
us, that means your internet connection is still working and you have likely survived all of the, I don't know, landmines, the digital landmines of this year
Yep, and COVID
and COVID.
and
And,
RSV.
but I guess stay vigilant, remain vigilant. Don't click on anything that you're not supposed to, or I guess just don't click on anything. And I don't know,
Yeah, don't
let's,
click on anything. Don't even use the internet.
I mean, cross your fingers. There's no crazy hacks, but at the same time, that's what pays our bills. So somebody out there that's listening, continue to hack. Um, but yeah, that's all I got. Any final words on your end?
Because we have so many listeners, I feel like anything I say right now could change the world potentially. So so just love one another. Let's shoot for peace in 2023 and just be nicer to one another.
Yeah, agreed. Spread
And
the joy.
pour one out for the homies that we've lost this year. And what else? Enjoy your time with family and friends as much as you can.
Enjoy that time. Enjoy the cold because I don't like the hot myself. And if you're somewhere where it's snowing, build a snowman, play, have fun, enjoy life. And I guess we'll come back and we'll talk to you guys a little bit in 2023. So with that said, happy holidays.